guys very much. It's great to have you here. Nice faces in the audience today. How you guys doing? I'm John Cancio. This is True Talk. Today we have psychic Ann Fisher. You guys excited about talking to Ann? Ann's got some questions to answer today. So do you guys have your questions prepared out here? Yeah. Cool, cool. So welcome Ann to the show. Hi, Ann. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I used to work with Ann a couple years back. I used to have a show called John's Talk, and she was a guest numerous times, weren't you, Ann?
Yes.
And we did a lot of good shows together.
Oh, we did a lot of
But this is our first with an audience, so this is cool,
wonderful.
isn't it?
I'd like to have an audience.
Yeah. These are all your fans, Ann. So how have you been?
Good.
Good.
I've been doing some national things lately.
Yes, she's going to be on Psychic Detective. Is that on Court TV, I believe?
Yes.
On Court TV. So you guys got to look out for that.
In the fall.
Yeah. What? So, has that been filmed yet, or are you going to tape that? No, it's going to be filmed
the week of August 14th.
Oh, okay, so when will that be aired? In September, you said?
Probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Look out for that, you guys.
Court TV.
Court TV.
The body in the river that I found. I found a body.
Tell us about that, Ann. How did that come about?
Well, there was a man that disappeared one Saturday night. He'd been out drinking with a woman, of course, and his girlfriend was a little upset because he never came home. And she came to see me with his sister, and they wanted to know what happened. So I took a map of Cohoes. He was in Cohoes when it happened. Took a map of Cohoes, and I had a pendulum and a picture, and I started from the bar he was last seen, and I followed it up to Crescent Road. And then as I went up Crescent Road, I felt the car went out of control and went into the river between two dams. So the next day I went with the sister and walked that area, and I saw some trees that were a little off, and we were able to find.
So you found a dead body?
Well, I didn't find. I mean, I helped them find.
Oh, you helped. How does that feel, Ann?
Well, I felt kind of sad because it was too bad, it happened.
But you helped solve the case. So
yes,
that's cool.
And the father was very ill, and he was very happy that I was able to free his mind, that they wouldn't be looking for him for many years.
That's a very good thing.
See, he was with this woman. They got in a fight, and the car went off the road and into the river.
Wow.
But you really couldn't see it. You had to look real close where they went in, because of where I felt it was, and some of the trees were clipped. But
wow. So when was that? When did you discover that?
1988.
1988. So, and that has been printed in newspapers and books all over.
They want
right?
a lot of that information. They wanted to know some of my best cases.
And we want to know about Ann. How long have you been a psychic, Ann?
Over 20 years.
20 years. So you've been in the Capital Region that whole time? Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's quite a long time to be.
Yeah, I went to, everything happened to me in Schenectady. Would you believe it? This is Schenectady County.
Wow.
I think I was conceived in the Van Curler. That's my beginning.
So why Schenectady, Ann? What's your motive?
No, I had gotten out of college, and I went to a Spiritualist church up on Minder Street way back when it was open. And I went there because I was in love with a Scorpio to find out about a man. What do you girls come to see me for? A man.
It's always about a man, isn't it?
Man, you know how it is. Anyway, I did go there, and I was looking for this information, but I never got it. And the medium was a very elderly but very honest woman, and she told me that in a past life I had been a psychic, and it was time again, safe again, to use it. And she said,
so how old were you when you started?
About 23.
About 23?
And
Is this when you discovered you were a psychic?
Yeah.
When you were 23?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I believed she was honest, and one Sunday, after about 3 months, she said, well, next Sunday you have to work. It's time for you to do this. And I said, but I don't know how to do it. She says, oh, yes, you do. So after the service, she got me up, had me clutch my left hand, take 2 deep breaths, and I started to see things. And I went to everyone in the room with maybe 3 little things.
Wow.
So I said to her, do I have to go back to college for that? And she said no, that as I used it, it would come out. And so each Sunday she'd let me give half of the messages in this Spiritualist church. And I would ask the audience, if anything comes out, let me know, because I didn't know. Maybe I was making it up. But Sunday after Sunday, people say, well, after a few weeks, that came out, this came out, and I believed in myself. And I became nationally known in 2 years.
And ever since,
yeah.
right?
I have a fame aspect in my chart. I have a 10th house Saturn. Queen Elizabeth of Mussolini had the same thing.
Now
Queen
you're
Elizabeth's
a medium.
still alive. Mussolini
you're
got
also
hung.
a medium, right? You're a medium.
But what I'm trying to
psychic.
say is,
Mm-hmm.
my destiny in my chart was I was supposed to have fame, but if I used it wrong, I would go.
Right.
I'm saying Queen Elizabeth's still around, but Mussolini didn't make it. Same aspect.
But I know you do a lot. You're psychic, you're a medium, you hypnotize also. And somebody in this room is going to get hypnotized today, and we're going to bring them back.
Bring him back
for
in
the second
time.
segment. And we're going to see how that goes. And you do past life regressions, correct?
Yeah, that's called the past life regression.
Okay, and she's going to go into a past life of that person, and you basically find out about who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'll show you what it's like. You see, when you die, your mind, your brain dies because that's physical, but your mind goes with your soul into the next dimension. And when you're reborn, it connects again.
See, Ann,
So
you got
this
some
is-
people freaked out over here.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm a psychic in this life, because in 3 lifetimes back, I was Sarah Bibble. I got this very clearly. 36, lived outside of Salem on a farm. One day, I was clairvoyant and could work with herbs. One day when I went to town with my father, I was picked up for witchcraft and put in the stockade. And when my trial came up, I had healed the judge's daughter of a high fever and saved her life, and he let me go.
And I know you researched this
We
information, and
researched
it came
yes.
out.
And he let me, it said, Ken Crow from the TU researched it for me, and he said that he looked it up. And it said, Sarah Bibble, 36, accused of witchcraft, was judge ruled out of jurisdiction. I didn't live in Salem. I lived on a farm.
And the person you were...
So my life was saved. I couldn't practice anymore.
And the person you were in your last life was Louise, what was the last name?
Vanderbilt.
Okay.
I forgot to bring the pictures because I look exactly
you guys
like
look
her.
very similar, right?
Yes, I look exactly like her.
Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody got a question? Be brave, okay? Hi, how are you? Stand up if you would.
How are you, John?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. And thank you so much for being here. I am in a position that's very different from me. Normally, I'm helping others. I have a background in art and psychology, but now I'm going through my own career shifting and relationships shifting, and I'm wondering if you could tell me anything about what may occur for me in the next 2 to 3 years.
You know, your aura, an aura is an energy field around a person. Your aura was as yellow as your hair. You have blonde hair. It was on the yellow side with a little green in it, especially over here. It shows that you're going through a change, but I think it's time. It was time for you to change direction. The man wasn't right, so the new one is good, and you'll be able to progress with him. And the career change is what you're supposed to do now. In the next 2 or 3 years, you'll see yourself moving ahead, and I feel positive about it. Are you going into something more creative?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go into filmmaking.
Yeah, because I knew it was something creative because your aura showed a light green, and light green is creativity. So I think you're going in the right direction, but you still think of that old love.
I don't have a new man right now.
Oh, well, you still think of the old love. Leave him alone because the new one's coming along. I kept feeling you flash back that way.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. The new one will be better, and it's ahead a little bit, but there's a new one coming in.
Thank you very
So
much.
you'll do successful.
I appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
you will be happy going that way.
Thank you.
Okay, great.